Hey everybody, so this can be a quick little review of this Park Tools 3/8 drive breaker bar. So up at the shop up until a week or so ago, this is typically what we would, kind of the setup we would use for going to break loose a like a bottom bracket, spline bottom bracket or something. So anyway, I'd been looking for a breaker bar. This particular one is just one I have at home. It's an old Cal US made breaker bar. It's a 1/2 inch drive, so it's pretty solid. I was actually going to take this into work, but most everything we use is 3/8 with sockets and all the tools and things. So I was going to use an adapter, but in the long run we ended up just getting one of the Park ones. So just kind of using this one as a reference as far as quality wise and everything. You can see all the tolerances are really tight, which that's kind of something we're going to look at here in just a bit. But yeah, this one is a real nice quality tool here. So anyway, we got one of these. Pretty inexpensive, but the overall finish and everything looked really great. Seemed to be pretty decent, but the downfall was the first time that I actually tried to use it, I used one of these splined bottom bracket tools, and I was taking it over to the bike there to break this thing loose. The tool just fell right off the 3/8 drive there. So kind of just looking at it here, there's quite a bit of slop. And at first I was like, well, is that maybe the tool itself is not formed quite right, or maybe maybe the breaker bar is a little small, the end bit there, or maybe the socket's a little worn out. So I had this old just 3/8 Craftsman there. So just kind of upon measuring the actual 3/8 shaft there. So 3/8 in the decimal range is going to be 0.375. So we're 0.372 on the Park Tool version there, and this Craftsman one's at 0.3745. So it's just a hair under 3/8 on that one. So the Park Tool definitely was undersized. Anyway, we went ahead and just wanted to see how this thing would do. And I like to use these a lot of times for installing or taking out. It's nice, you can set it at that 180 degrees straight out. You can see the slop there as I'm getting this thing, just kind of torquing it in. There's quite a bit of movement there. So I don't know, we've been using it in the shop for probably a week now. One of the mechanics actually had an extension on it, and so it's basically held up fine. But I wanted to just test it against some other tools and sockets and things, and it's pretty consistent with a variety of different sockets, some Chinese stuff and some US made stuff, and it all was pretty well consistent. We were getting some slop there on the shaft itself, but then also the square tip part there, as far as where it actually mounts into the forks there. You can see there's quite a bit of movement in there as well. So I actually just disassembled it just to kind of get a good look at everything. And the components, are the little check ball and spring there, seem pretty decent. That's where it just sits down in that little hole in the shaft there. And so the actual little square section there, when you put it in the little tool fork there, you can see how much there's quite a bit of not very close tolerances there. So that's, I don't know, I would expect it to be quite a bit closer, and then the actual little shaft there that holds it in is pretty loose there as well. So I don't know if this tool is just they're going with the very least amount of acceptable tolerances that would actually work. I don't know if any other, I haven't tested it against any others. This is the only one I've seen so far. Might be interesting to go check it against some Harbor Freight tools, because it looks like essentially the same same manufacturers, you know, in China. They just put different logos and whatnot on there. So I don't know. Anyway, I like the way it looks, but the actual precision in the actual components there where you're going to put your tools on seems a little sloppy to me. So I don't know. That's just kind of my overall impressions there. We've been using it for, you know, like I say, a week or two now and haven't really had any issues with it. We don't use it every day, maybe once every few days to break something loose. But anyway, yeah, that's my little review here. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.